everyone. Just want to welcome you to today's episode of Full Range Outdoors. Now, this is actually part one of a two-part episode where we go bear hunting down in Tennessee. Now, I've been talking to a good buddy of mine, BJ Sloan, and we decided we wanted to do some bear hunting. So we contacted CNC Outfitters, Colton and Chip Chambers down in Tennessee, and set up a date to go down. Now, Colton and Chip are great guys, and they really took care of us. So, and this is part one of our trip down. So we want to take you along and take you on our bear hunting adventure down in Tennessee. So sit back and enjoy part one of today's episode. Well, we are all packed up and ready to head to East Tennessee to meet up with CNC Outfitters, and we're going to do a little bear hunting this weekend. So, been excited about it. Had this one on the books for probably right at a year now, or maybe a little over a year. So, been getting a lot of good trail camera pictures. He's got some monster bears down there. The one on the hit list is pretty big black bear, so maybe if we get a chance to pull it up on a computer later, we might be able to show you. But we're definitely excited about it. Dad's running the camera, so he's going to be the cameraman this weekend. We're meeting up with a good buddy of mine that I used to coach in football, BJ Sloan. He'll be hunting with us this weekend, so we'll introduce you to BJ a little later. But we got about a 3-hour trip, so it's not a long trip, but we want to get on the road and get to Tennessee and enjoy some scenery down there and grab us some dinner later on and prepare to go bear hunting tomorrow. So it should be exciting. Well, we are finally on the road. You know, I said earlier we were loaded up and ready to hit the road, but had a little truck problems. Truck didn't want to start, but we boosted it, and so it's running now. So hopefully we don't have any more problems there. But we're on Route 3, heading over to 23, which will take us all the way to our current destination down in East Tennessee. So hopefully we don't have any more truck problems, and we enjoy this beautiful day and the rest of our trip down. After we got down to Virginia, we hooked up with BJ there to kind of go over what we wanted to do and finish our journey down to Tennessee to meet up with CNC Outfitters. Hey guys, we finally met up with BJ here. We just crossed into Virginia on our way down to around the Johnson City, Tennessee area. That's where we're going to be hunting at. So introduce you to BJ Sloan. BJ, good buddy of mine, and used to play football for me in high school about a million years ago.
About a million years, yeah.
So he's all grown up now and a pharmacist and all that good stuff. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But we finally met up with him, so we'll figure out what we're going to do from here and then head on down. So get back on the road in a minute. we have arrived at our destination. We're here at the cabin with CNC Outfitters. So what we're going to do is just parked up. We'll jump out of here and get with BJ and let him know what's going on here. And we'll check out some of these sites and see what kind of cabin we got here to live in for the next 2 or 3 days. So. Not a bad trip at all. About 3.5 hours. We stopped and ate along the way. So one of the easiest trips I believe I've ever made to go hunting. So we'll go in here and check out the cabin and everything and see what that looks like while we're waiting on Chip to get here. Nice and sweet, or as they say, swanky. Pretty nice setup here. Come out this way and check this out. Pretty good view on the back porch too, and I would say there's some pretty nice fishing in there as well. Deer hunters are always looking for that extra advantage, and here at FRO we are no different. That's why we use Denver's Deer Sense. DDS has a complete line of products that's 100% fresh and pure. So whether it's premium buck, premium doe, estrus, or one of their other great products, you can always get the best with DDS. Minerals are an important part of managing your own land. That's why we trust Rack Tracker Outdoors Minerals and Attractants. RTO allows us to give the deer extra nutrition and antler growth, so we're hunting larger and healthier deer. So the next time you're in need of minerals, reach for Rack Tracker Outdoors Minerals and Attractants. Once we got to the cabin and got settled in, it was time to catch up with Colton and let him show us some trail camera pictures of all the bears that they have running around that would be on our hit list for the next couple of days.
Right there, you can see by how big its nose is and how wide its shoulders are.
Yeah.
And you'll know it's a big bear too by the size of its head.
Now how much would that one right there weigh?
That one's going to go every bit of 425, 450 easy. And then again, you know, pictures don't do these bears justice. There's some big monsters up here in these mountains. You can see like that one right there.
Yeah.
That's a real healthy bear.
He got a big long neck, don't he?
Yeah, see, look at that big nose on that.
Yeah.
You'll be able to tell too once you get in there. See, some of these bears, like this one right here, yeah, some of them are longer and skinnier, and some of them are shorter and more stout, got a lot more weight on them. That's what's cool about it. You know, it's not like deer. You're not looking at a certain rack. You know, these bears all got different builds, and they're just the ages. You'll be able to tell the ages too once you get in there and see them, because them young ones, they got them short legs, short nose. They're real. They don't really pay attention to nothing. They just kind of act like crazy. Them bigger bears, they'll come there, lift that nose up, they'll look around, they'll check you out.
Right there, though. He got his mouth open. Well,
Yeah. Yeah, he's crunching on something. And that right there, he's in there for the camera. He's doing all kinds of crazy stuff. You can see that one right there, like that one right there is a big bear.
that's a good bear.
Yeah. Now I will tell you this, if a mama comes in with cubs, you can't shoot them.
Okay.
You can't shoot the mama, you can't shoot the cubs. The cubs are typically always anywhere between 50, 40, 30 pounds. It just depends how mature they are. You know, some might be borderline, but I tell everybody just let them grow. You know, we got plenty of big mature bears out there. Don't even mess with the mama and the cubs. Now, if you do kill a bear, say a mama comes in that has no cubs and you can't tell it's a mama and you kill sow, that's perfectly legal. Okay. They just can't have cubs with them. And you can see like that one. That one's super tall, but he's skinny.
Yeah.
That one right there probably wouldn't weigh 100 pounds, but he's tall as a big old dog.
Yep.
You know. Well, like I said, most of these pictures right here on the farm we're going to start on tomorrow. You can see, look how tall that bear is. You can see how tall
He's
compared to that
standing up
tree.
there.
Yeah, he's completely standing up. Look how tall that bear is right there, completely standing up. You
He's
can see
halfway up
it's,
that tree.
yeah, I mean, he's halfway up that tree. He's
3
tall.
weeks lead
Yeah.
up to you.
Yeah.
So you've never had one climb on you?
I've never had one climb on me. Now, I have been charged 2 or 3 times. I did get charged in the daylight last year. And and it was funny because I backed off of it when it charged me. And I backed completely off of it. And I actually walking hundreds and was 50 yards behind me. And we walked up to it and that bear just sat there and looked at us. And just walked off. He didn't want to kill. It was about a 350 pounder.
Yeah.
Excuse me. He actually didn't kill it. He wanted to wait, get in a stand, because he wanted. There was a potential state record coming in last year every day, about every 3 days in the daylight. Every evening, it was just coming in like clockwork, and he really wanted that bear, so he did state record. We actually had somebody kill that littler bear.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'll find it right here in just a second. A picture of that bear. And we still think it is potential state record if I can find a good picture of it. Now this right here is where you're going to be hunting on Sunday. That was back in the summer. You can see the stand and that sort of thing. And right there, see, that's another good shear, but just, you know, one of them skinny bears. Almost looks like his legs broke in that one.
I know, it looks weird. Yeah.
Check that out. Almost looks like his legs broke. I never noticed that till now. Huh. And then right there's another monster that's in there. This big old long nose, big old heavy frame. That right there climbed the tree. Something scared him.
Yeah.
Right there's why he climbed the tree.
Bigger bear.
And there's probably a 2-year-old in there. About a 4.5-year-old came in there and he got scared and went right up that tree. And you can tell. You I mean, look at that one. You can see how big and muscular that bear is, and how wide he is. You can see how broad that bear is.
Pretty good deer.
Yeah, those are actually last year deer pictures that got mixed in there with them. Yeah, that's about as big as deer as you're gonna get in Tennessee. I did get very lucky and killed the biggest deer I've ever killed in my life in Tennessee. I don't know how. I snuck in the golf course, killed a 21 pointer with a bow. I'll never do it again, but I had a lead that somebody let me go into their backyard, and it's just, you can see that, and he's not camera shy.
No.
He says hello.
Now, you was talking about the cubs, because I wouldn't care. If
Yep.
it was a monster, if it had a cub with it,
Yep.
I'm not going to kill it.
Exactly.
I might as well shoot all 3 of them.
Exactly.
But, so the cubs this time of year, what can we expect to see? If we seen them, how big would they be?
About 50, 60 pounds, I would say. But here's the funny thing. These 2 farms you're hunting tomorrow, these other 2 farms, I've seen a lot more cubs. These 2 farms you're hunting tomorrow, these bears are so big and so territorial, they've ran these cubs out of the country. I mean, these bears are very, very territorial to other bears, especially big ones. Like just for example, if those 2 bears right there came in together or met each other in there, I mean, it would be a full-out brawl. I mean, they would not, I mean, just like a deer. Besides, unlike, a big deer will sometimes run with another big deer in like October or something like that. They won't do it at all. They don't, besides those brother bears I showed you, the twins, 300 pounders, but they're brothers, I believe, because they've always ran together. I think they've kind of grown, like cubs do. I think they grew up together, their mama, something happened to her or completely left them. Because that usually is what happens. And then, that right there.
Yeah.
That right there is like the ones you want. And that's out there we're going to be hunting Sunday. And there's just some brutes out there. There's some scary big bears up there. You can see, look right
That's
there.
a monster.
That's a,
Big
I mean, that,
cut.
He's a
Yeah.
big one.
that right there is where we're gonna be hunting Sunday.
What
Bigfoot.
would he run right there?
That bear right there. That bear would be every bit of pushing at least 400 pounds. You can tell by look how stocky he is. Even he's got a really good build, but look how wide his arms are and his paws. I mean, he's got a paw almost as big as mine. It looks like. I mean, he's a great big bear.
I don't know if you can see this or not on camera, but yeah, it's a mini Bigfoot right there.
This is where we'll be hunting Sunday as well. That's up top. That's probably where you'll hunt Sunday. It's very top. That's out there where we're gonna be hunting Sunday. See, that's a nice bear, but it looks tiny compared to that one.
So that wouldn't be a cub?
No, that's non-cub.
Okay.
Like I said, you'll know a cub when you actually see one. I mean, it literally looks like a dog. I mean, a really, really small dog. I mean, you'll know because here's the rule I always use.
We don't want to be able to pick him up and carry him out.
Exactly. You don't. The rule of thumb I always use is shoot something bigger than a Great Dane. A cub's not going to be as long as a Great Dane. You know, a full-grown Great Dane is going to be a lot longer than a cub and a lot bigger in the belly.
So your dad's saying, so we don't want to shoot him right there. We want to kind of come back a little bit.
Yeah, you want to come back like right in there, because you know all their pump vital organs are like. Some of them, see, a lot of people shoot them too low is what happens. So what we always do is say, just aim behind the front leg, aim a little bit high, like right in there, because you're definitely going to get some vitals when you aim like that. Because the problem is if you shoot them too low, then they just don't bleed good.
From a deer, you know, I'm gonna hit right here. Right
Exactly.
Come back
From a deer, I mean, you know, you're going to hit a deer out there, just come back a little bit, just a little bit higher than you normally would a deer.
Almost like a
Yeah, exactly. And plus, when you shoot one with a gun, I mean, they, you know, you get them good, I mean, they're going to come down. I mean, they ain't like you're going to chase them all over the country, you know what I mean?
Now, no hunting camp will be complete without a camp cook. And when we go on trips, we have one of the best.
Carpenter, I don't think so how close that he moved up. But Carpenter, more easy
Cameraman, camp cook. If this was Bonanza, he'd be hop singing. The SRB Field Rest is perfect for turkey hunting. Be sure to check out their complete line of products at srbfieldrest.com. The Lighthouse Beacon 1000 headlamp from Outdoor Pro Gear is the perfect headlamp for your outdoor adventures. With 1000 lumens and 3 adjustable settings, it's the last light you will need. Whether you're hunting, fishing, camping, or just working around the house, reach for the Lighthouse Beacon 1000 from Outdoor Pro Gear. Well, after a sleepless night dreaming about bears, it was time to get some breakfast in us and make a plan to get to a tree stand and start hunting bears.
Like getting out of the woods with a full stomach.
We're roughing it today, ain't we?
Not bad. Fried bologna, eggs, biscuits, coffee, Diet Dr. Pepper,
A good company.
and good company. Only thing left to do today is kill a bear.
It's a bear now.
Here's the pepper if anybody wants pepper.
Well, it's about 5:14 right now, and Colton, our guide, is going to be by about 5:30 to pick us up, and head to the woods. So we're excited this morning, getting a stand and get after bears today. It's a beautiful morning out there. It's not real cold, but it's not warm. Temperatures have dropped down here like they have back home over the last week or so. So it should be good and comfortable. So just going to finish packing up here. We've had a great breakfast, so it should be good to go for a sit and stand this morning.
Well, it's the first morning of our hunt here in Tennessee with CNC Outfitters, and it's just a beautiful morning. It's a little crisp and not cold, not warm. So I'm just pretty excited to be in the stand right now. Like I said before, first time bear hunt. So just, like I said, I'm really excited. Beautiful spot. A lot of timber around, some thickets behind us and stuff. And then I think he said the bear like to come and cross. There's a trail that runs down here, and there's a place that they like to come and wander around. So we're just hunkered in here for the day and see what happens. So hopefully a nice big bear will go cruising through here before long.
Now that I'm all settled in the stand, let's go move over and check on BJ and see what he has going on in his neck of the woods.
It's BJ Sloan. It's October 12th. I'm tagging along with Larry May in Full Range Outdoors this weekend. We're in Tennessee with CNC Outfitters with our first bear hunt. So hopefully we can get it done today. If not, we've got tomorrow also. So we'll be back with you later, and hopefully we have something good to share.
Well, no bears yet, but BJ had a lot of wildlife running around. So now let's just flip back over and see what I had going on.
A slow morning. It's about 12 o'clock and haven't seen any movement. Talking to Chip, the moon was right last night and we really thought something would be moving this morning, and maybe they were, but just not in our spots. Talking to BJ, see if we're going to maybe come back to this stand or somewhere else. I'm not sure yet. But we'll climb out of here, go get some lunch, rest up a bit, and we'll be back after this afternoon and see if we can't make something happen.
Well, there you go. We're finishing up our first morning hunt, so now it's time to jump out of the stand, go out and get some lunch, rest up a bit. But you know what? We're just simply out of time in this episode. So that's why we'll be coming back to you next week with part 2 to check on our evening hunt and our next day's hunt and see what happens. So as always, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Full Range Outdoors.